We're having a great conversation today. My guest worked for someone for 20 years, then had the opportunity to buy the business without putting any money into it. He used the business's cash flow to fund the investment. Things are going really well. He's grown the business and now he wants to buy lots of other businesses. He's got the entrepreneurial bug. So strap yourselves in. Let's have this conversation. Hello campers, welcome back to Business Broadcast. I'm joined here with my husband on the airwaves, James Bird.
Sounded very official there. Hello campers. BBC, very BBC News there. Hello everybody, welcome back to the pod.
How many of these do you think we've done together now?
Oh, January to May, 4 months, 2 a week, 8, 16, 36.
36. I mean, you're well and truly part of the furniture.
I know.
I think we've done a touch more than 36 in my
Well,
opinion.
there's 36 have come out by this point.
Fine.
How many do you think we've done?
38.
We said on the last episode we'd give a shout out to someone who leaves a lovely review, because we don't always get lovely reviews. YouTubers are sinister. A sinister and sour bunch sometimes. We got a lovely, because the last time we did one of these, there's a new review that had popped up and I hadn't spotted it in time. So I just felt like it's right to read it. But this one is nice. 7th of May from Nicola Adams. So shout out to you, Nicola Adams. This one is for you. She says, James Sinclair's business thinking is really influencing how I shape my startup. Much appreciated.
Oh,
how
thank
cool
you
is
very much.
that?
That's very kind of you. Thank you, Nicola. Nicola, did you say?
Nicola.
There you go. Thank you, Nicola.
Nicola
Any mention of you?
No,
Okay.
none at all. Nicola Adams, wasn't she? She was a Olympic boxer. Mate, I wonder if it's the Nicola Adams.
Wow.
She could come down, you could do an interview. If she didn't like it, she could knock you spark out.
She can wear a medal whilst doing it.
Wonder what that was then.
Today we're speaking to a gentleman called Paul Dennett. And I think listeners, when you hear him, you'll know that his business is based in Bristol.
There is no doubt.
There is no doubt.
This is interesting though, because he worked for the company for 20 years. He liked his job so much, he bought it.
There we go.
And he bought it 18 months ago.
Fine. So he's quite a newbie to the entrepreneurship world.
Entrepreneur turned entrepreneur.
There we go.
But he's got the bug now. He said, I've swallowed the James Sinclair playbook.
Yeah.
And he said, now it's challenge number 1, how to buy more businesses.
Well, there we go,
now.
baby.
He's got the bug.
I'll tell you what you need to do. Come to one of my seminars. That's how you solve that problem, sunshine.
Which one do you reckon would be best for someone like that? To
Business
light a fire.
masterclass.
Get it? Light a fire?
Yeah. Business masterclass.
Keep up, Sinclair. That was
and we'll
a great
put the fires
gag.
out together to build you a super successful, safe company.
That's the shittest tagline ever, by the way.
Yeah.
Business masterclass, when is that?
September.
By the way, I have attended twice.
You're speaking at it.
I know, but I think it's also the best business conference in the United Kingdom.
I agree.
So if you're thinking about it, no smarmy sales, no then people come up, they do 45 minutes and 30 minutes is like a little bit of scratch the surface and then 15 minutes get to the back of the room and
Do you know the thing is, I say that, I don't think people know that seminars exist. I don't know how many business owners actually go along and spend some time doing this stuff. You know, I wanted to go to a seminar recently in America. It was a 3-day marketing seminar. I thought, I should brush up on the latest marketing trends, and I missed out on it. I got the dates wrong. I didn't know it was on. Well, that's the worst, isn't it? You see it come up and you think, I would have gone to that. But
what was it?
I think it was a magnetic marketing, which is a Dan Kennedy
Okay.
one, yeah. And I wanted to go to that, and I didn't see it. And I don't want that for anyone that watches my stuff or listens to my stuff. The time to book is now. On my website, jamessinclair.net, and we'll see you at Business Masterclass. For the price of 2 pairs of Nikes, you could quadruple the size of your business. And if we don't give you loads and loads of value, we'll give you your money back at the end of day one. That's how sure we are that we.
How many people have been through your rooms over the years? Thousands.
Thousands.
How many people have ever asked for a refund?
None.
There you go.
There we go.
Have you never had a refund?
No, I don't think we've ever had a refund. No.
I can see why not.
Sometimes people have booked and then said, I can't make the dates.
Yeah,
It's
fine.
like, come on.
Yeah.
Don't be a woolly.
Yeah. But I think you're right. I think if you're, because we're in this sort of businessy, education-y space, you're like, everyone knows that they're aware of this. But like, I've got pals who've got businesses outside. They just do not even know this world exists. One of my pals, he was like a big property developer and a money lender. He did bridging loans on questionable sites, shall we say. And I said to him, I went to him one day and I'd sort of swallowed the training handbook at this point. I was super excited. I went, Andy, do you know what? So there's all these, you can go to these networking events. So then you could tell people. He went, do you know what, Jim? He always called me Jim. He went, do you know what, Jim? I'm all right. I'd rather stay home on a Monday night. You crack on, son. I was like,
but
he's a man who did very well for himself.
I've been to lots of seminars, and in the early days, even now, they can change your life.
Oh, definitely.
If you get a really good speaker that knows what they're doing, they're engaging and they teach you stuff, and that time to get out of the business and actually, work harder on yourself than you do your business. Like, the harder you work on yourself, the better your business's results are, period.
I remember you said that at the start of last year's event. You said, look, you're here for the 2 days, try and put your phone down, turn your emails off, like just be here in the room, be where your feet are, because you need to work on the business, not just in the business. And do you know what? It's amazing that, what was it last time? 200 odd business owners who all committed to not being on their phone. They were like present in the room.
Yeah, you've got to learn the stuff.
So he can't do the cheesy upsell for it because it'd be trite, but I can. It's very, very good.
It's
just
a
couple of pairs of Nikes to grow your business.
It's 300 quid for a 2-day event in London, and it is flipping fantastic. And the people that go are great as well.
Yeah. Are you doing a speaker panel again this year? You're doing the bankers panel.
Handelsbanken. We've got HSBC. And then 3 other banks. I can't remember who they are, and they're on a panel.
So they do a funding panel. It's brilliant.
And then all the people in the audience can ask Handelsbanken and HSBC, would you fund this deal? Why wouldn't you fund this deal? What's wrong with it?
I love it when they won't fund it. You're like, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you bloody do that?
Yeah, and I facilitate it. I go around the room.
He bullies the bankers.
Yeah, bully the bankers. That's what we should call it. That's what we should call it. They wouldn't turn up, but that will be...
But don't tell them that's what it is. Just tell people on the mailing list.
We're going to do Bully the Bankers at Business Masterclass, Right, okay, so Paul Dennett, who is our guest today, tell me about his business, JB.
So, as I mentioned before, he was working for the company for 20 years, and then 18 months ago, he had the opportunity to buy the business as the old owners decided that they wanted to retire and go off to the sunset somewhere. So he took the opportunity to jump in double-footed into entrepreneurship. He's now doing 30 grand a month. He's got 10 team members. Challenges in the business, we always like to ask people what their challenges are. Challenge 1, looking to buy businesses within our sector to expand. He has fully got the business buying bug now. Challenge number 2, taking luck out of the equation and getting in front of big business decision makers. I don't really know what that one means. We'll have to dig into that a little bit more. And challenge number 3, choosing the right people to surround myself with, mentors, solicitors, etc.
I think what he means by challenge number 2, I'm just going to break that down. If he wanted to sell roller skates to me for Roller City, my roller skating rink, how does he get in front of me?
Gotcha.
I think that's really what he's saying.
So it's get in front of the right people and the right decision makers rather than throwing some stuff against the wall and hoping some sticks. Fine. Okay, cool. We always ask people where they want to be in a year. He said he wants to be the owner of 2 or 3 businesses in our current sector.
I like this guy.
What does it look like when it's finished? Owning a range of businesses that can service a customer's fire and health and safety needs across a wide range of aspects. Do you make the profit that you want to? And if so, what is it? Second time ever on the podcast. Yes. He's happy.
He's not happy with 70 grand.
Well, he says he is. Don't you be putting people's words in people's mouths.
Can I just say, I've got people that have been on my podcast, been to my seminars, in fact, that have got businesses in this sector, and they were making a lot of money. Because it's an essential service. People pay for it.
They have to, don't they?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
So he says he's content with 70 grand a month, but maybe we'll dive 70k per year profit, but maybe we'll dive into that a little bit more. And then we always ask people, what do they do in the business day to day? He says he's still doing customer facing training on a daily basis, plus spending other time with the team I'm building and improving the systems and processes. So he's in it and on it a bit, by the sounds of. And when I said he enjoyed his job so much he bought it sounds like that is definitely the case.
I love his questions. We'll read them out because there's only 2. His questions that he gets to ask me, what would you do with the 3 challenges above? Well, hopefully, if we're doing a good job of this podcast, we should answer that as we go through.
That's a waste of a question. If you've only got 5.
Ask me anything.
And then the second...
Can you answer the things I've already asked? Yeah, and then the second one is, who does your fire and training first aid?
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, there we go. And this is Chuds, by the way, that makes all the content. Lots of women are interested in him. There we go.
What a fella.
What a fella. And men, lots of men are interested in him.
Everyone's interested. Everyone, and that's fine.
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
Shall we get him on then? Shall we get Paul
let's
on
get
the
him
pod?
on. Yeah.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
We are very well, thank you, my friend. So,
can I just say, I those 3 questions at the end, I know I've listened to so many of your podcasts, I know you don't get to the questions very often sometimes, so it was just easier to...
Well, that's
ask
James
the ones
Burt's
above.
fault. He's the producer here. He should be asking the questions, shouldn't you? There's some valuable feedback for you.
Sorry, Paul, I'm going to write that down.
Paul, do you realise JB's gone now? That's it. That's the end. This is the last
That's it.
episode.
It's done, is it?
Finished.
Yeah.
I've taken the online bullying for my shirt choices, and now Paul has just twisted the knife, quite frankly. So we've obviously summarised the business as we've read it out here on the pod. But give us a little summary with a bit more context to it, and what made you want to buy it after working for the company for 20 years, mate, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so we specialised in fire safety training and fire extinguishers for just those 20 years. And then the opportunity came to purchase the business. We get asked by lots of our customers, do we offer other services? And the previous owner kind of liked the niche that we were in. And since he's gone, I've decided, that we could. So we've gone out and expanded our product range, so we can now offer extra things to our current customers. We as I say, we specialised in fire safety training and extinguishers for years, but now we do first aid and evac chair training and ski pad training, all that sort of stuff as well.
Paul, I think listeners will be interested to know how you came to buy it. Certainly I am. I don't know if you are, JB. So,
yeah, definitely.
So was you the manager of the business for your...
So it started 20 years with just me and the previous owner working out of a small office in his garage. And we compiled and kept our customers and grew steadily over those years. So we had an office with a couple of members of staff in it, and a few extra trainers joined us along the way. So I knew the business inside and out. And then when it came to purchasing it, when the owner decided to retire, I've kind of done it on like a mortgage basis. So I'm paying in monthly. Seller finance.
Seller financed.
Yeah, lovely. And you've still got a good relationship with him?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good.
Do you ever ask him for any tidbits? You still on the phone to him every now and then?
Yeah, he still pops in for coffee once a week just to see how we're getting on and have a bit of cake and biscuits.
Cake and biscuits. Oh, love it. Oh, so that's good. And how big is the bit? So you're doing 30K a month now?
Yeah, so it's probably since I applied to come on the podcast, we have grown slightly. So we did just over 400K last year with about 100K profit. Lovely. So profit-wise, I am happy with what we're doing with what we're currently selling. You're quite right. As we get bigger and add more aspects to the business, I would like a bit more profit out of it. But where we are currently with the products we're offering, I think the cost is good.
Just the thing that I always like to tell people is, as a business grows, the pence that you keep out of the pound diminishes, and that's
I've heard you say that a lot.
So like up to 600 grand, you might make 150 grand. You get to £1 million quid, and you might still be making 150 grand because you'd layered it with more people, and it's all these steps in business that you have to get to the next layer of economies of scale.
Go through it quickly.
Yeah, it is difficult, and then sometimes people have to fund the difference. I was speaking to a business, it's unbloody believable. This 300 million turnover business made £3 million profit. Could you imagine how much you'd be pooing your pants? Because 3 million's a lot of money to anyone in profit, but it ain't when you're doing 300 million. It only takes a few things to go wrong and then wash, you're out.
That's scary, isn't it, that?
Oh, well, and they are in that wash, you're out. They actually rang me up and said, hey, do you want to do a deal? I know the madness, the calls I get.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you tell me off
No,
air who
we're
it
not
was?
talking about it now.
No,
but,
I know you're not.
But maybe in 100 days, I keep saying this on the pod because I don't
You
know
sound
if
like
it's
bloody Rishi Sunak. Chill out, Mr. Political.
Oh, talk about Rishi Sunak while we're here, Paul. Not that I like to get political on the podcast, but this
We
is
say that every time.
Yeah, we say that every time. But you
No
know,
politics and no tax advice.
yeah, no politics and no tax advice. But there is something that's really got my goat recently. You know, Rishi Sunak's come out and he said, yeah, no, we've halved inflation. He hasn't halved inflation. Inflation around the world has halved. Basically, he said in the winter, or within 12 months, we're going to get inflation down by half. And I thought that, I was listening to this when he said that, I thought, that's like me saying on Christmas Day that it's going to be summer in 6 months. That's how sure we all was with rising interest rates.
Yeah.
And like he's gone in and been the superhero
What a
that
hero.
saved the day. And it really has got on my wick. There we go. I suppose that is a political opinion, isn't it? It's not really, is it? It's just
It's just a common sense opinion.
I just thought everyone's gone through a lot of hard work with rising interest rates. So is he now responsible for inflation going in half around the rest of the world as well?
I think he's responsible for all of that.
I mean,
Him and
Joe
his family.
Biden's going, thank you, Rishi.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks for your family office funding that.
Yeah,
that
exactly,
reduction. Now we are getting political. Leave it. So you said in your first challenge, Paul, that you want to look at buying businesses within the sector. What other stuff sort of folds into the existing empire that you'd be interested in looking at?
So fire alarm and security is a big thing I think we need to get into going into in the future.
When you say security, do you mean CCTV?
Yeah, all that. Yeah. So if we can offer servicing on alarm panels and smoke detectors, and then also incorporate door access and things as well, that's such a big thing out there that I think we'd be silly not to try and give it a go. But because it's not my bag currently, don't have no knowledge in that sector. It'd be better for me to buy an existing business where you've got a management team and trained members of staff already and incorporate it into first attendance and maybe go out and try and do it ourselves.
Well, I agree. So what, have you done any viewings? Have you been proactive?
Yeah, so I listen to lots of all your podcasts and all your videos on YouTube and stuff. So I've actually gone out over the last 3 months and gone and visited businesses, even if not with the idea of purchasing them, but just seeing what they do, what their setups is, what systems they're using. So going forward, when I can see something that I like or I know a little bit about, I've got a bit more knowledge.
There we go. And has that helped?
Yeah, it has. My big problem is currently a lot of the larger facilities companies out there are buying the businesses that I would be looking at, the size of businesses that I would be looking to buy, and it's just having the balls really to go for it.
Why don't you go for it? What when you say the balls?
Well, because as I said, I've only been doing this 18 months on my own, and is that catch-22, because that kind of rolls in with challenge number 3 about surrounding myself with mentors and solicitors. It's just throwing ideas around to people and getting responses from people that have experienced that and been in the game a bit longer to go, have you looked at this? Have you looked at that? Have you tried this? Have you tried that?
Let me ask you this, Paul. How long have you got till you clear the vendor finance on the business you've currently got?
A while, because he's been very generous and I'm not paying him that much a month.
Fine. Okay. Right. But it's not, so that's not causing you a cash flow issue.
No, not at all.
What I would do is I would try and grow this business first. Get that to £1 million. Don't let this one suffer. And you probably could do that by being a better marketeer, quite frankly. Yep. Like, what are we spending on Google ads? What are we spending on direct mail? What are we doing by picking up the phone?
So since I sent in my application for the podcast, I've actually employed in-house somebody to do our marketing and sales, and we've just actually implemented a new CRM system so we can really monitor that and put our KPIs in place to push that along.
Yeah. I mean, you should be spending more of your time on marketing, not so much the sales. And I think, for new business owners, remember marketing provides the leads and the salespeople close the leads. I think that's the best way of thinking about it. You agree with that, JB?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm just looking at your website as well.
Yeah. So this person that you've employed, when you say to someone you're marketing and sales, I sometimes worry that allows
two different disciplines,
get out calls. Yeah. They go, I've been working hard on generating the leads. I haven't had time to close them.
No, so we've employed a lady to do things like because we've never done blogs or email drops or anything like that before. So we've got a lady that's employed to do that. And then we've also got a gentleman who's come in and he's going to do some direct sales for us as well.
Oh, so sales and marketing is two different people?
Two different people, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
If this was my business, though, I mean, once you've got your blogs, and once you've got, I mean, I would want instant results, and I'd probably be doing pay-per-click and Facebook ads.
Yeah, already do that. Already do pay-per-click, SEO,
and does it give you results?
Yeah, for 20 years, that's the only place we ever advertised. So the previous owner didn't do any marketing at all. We literally just used Google. So we've grown over the last 20 years just by Google and what they can offer. So we're now trying to add to that on top of that by bringing in someone to do direct sales and another lady to do the marketing as well.
So the marketing lady, maybe she should be doing direct mail rather than blogs. I mean, do many people want to read something about...
According to our web people, they lots of people like to read them, and it helps with Google as well.
Oh yeah. But once you've done it, haven't you? Like, they're saying you're doing this for search engine optimization. I imagine. And don't forget me, James Sinclair. I'm doing blogs 3-4 times a week. I think we're putting stuff on our website, and it does work for certain sectors where you're like if you're in a hobbyist sector or an information sector, you need to do all this stuff. But once she's done all that, definitely consider direct mail, like sending 100 letters out to your perfect customers that you don't quite. Yeah, so
I actually bought some fire extinguisher water pistols.
Lovely.
Because I read your book, so I'm going to send them out as lumpy. I've been sending them out as lumpy mail.
Have you had any luck on that?
Well, we've only just done it over the last 5-6 weeks, so we've monitored who we sent out to, and we're just waiting to see if anything comes back.
And make sure the quality of what makes that really important is making sure the offer that goes with the lumpy mail, which is, you can't just expect to just send a toy fire extinguisher in the post and see the bank account fill up. The copy and the letter that goes with it is just as equally as important. Okay, right. Let's
The second challenge then was which goes on to sort of the lumpy mail thing, I guess, and getting people to actually respond and react in the right way. So taking the luck out of the equation and getting in front of big business decision makers. Explain that challenge a bit more to us, Paul, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so in an ideal world, if you were to take one of the, say, large hotel chains, the Hiltons, the Premier Inns and all that sort of stuff, if we could offer them fire training, first aid training, evac chair training, the service of their fire extinguishers, that would be the ultimate customer for us, because that just is clean, it's tidy, it's easy, it's what we do on a daily basis. But it's I've had a conversation with people at Premier Inns and Whitbread, but it's actually trying to get in front of those estate managers that deal with large parts of the business to actually make those decisions. And how do I go about? Who do I network? Where do I network? How do I get in front of? Who do I find who these people are, etc.
Well, I've got a couple of ideas. I would make sure I've got LinkedIn premium account. It costs you about 50 quid a month, and then you can find people on there. You try your direct messaging, but it pisses most of them off, and then send them letters. But the other thing that I would do, because look, the strength of the database is really important.
Yeah.
And having the right people in the database, because it's best to have 10 good names of the right people, the right decision makers, and then market to them via letters and picking up the phone or finding out where they hang out, do all that good stuff. The other thing is there are lots and lots of tender websites, and one of them I believe is called Tender Force.
Right. And I heard you mention that to. I listened to a lady that was doing first aid training.
Yeah.
You mentioned that to her.
And so local authorities, big companies, they upload all these things. Tenderful's the consultancy agency we've used to help us win tenders before. But you need to go and just find out about tenders. If you ring up the local council and say, where do you go for tenders? They will tell you, because it's a freedom of information thing.
Yeah, spot on.
So if you're not filling in 5 tenders a week, I mean, that's, you need this bloggy person, maybe make her head of tenders.
Yep.
And her job is just to fill in tenders and get really good at doing tenders.
Yep,
and I'm telling you now, big companies have a department just filling in government tenders. I'm trying to think like a hospital will be putting out tenders for cleaning, tenders for food, and you'll go to a contract caterer like Compass, they'll have 3 or 4 people just filling in tenders for the whole country, for the NHS, for the police, for the fire service, for Google, and they'll just be working on tenders. Why are you looking at me so confused, JB?
Have a look at that, definitely.
I'm not confused. I got lost in your eyes for a moment. Do you know what I think? There was I was trying to think, it was the NatWest new business hubs, and I think they've got about 15, 16 of them dotted around there. I bet there'll be one down southwest, down your neck of the woods, Paul. Right. I'm pretty sure that one of the people that they have within each of their what do you call it, like an accelerator program, is somebody who helps support with tenders. They have like tender writers in there.
And big companies, especially companies that have some government arrangement, so the NHS, schools, local authorities, if they spend over £5,000 with something, it has to go to tender.
Right, okay.
And then you're scored, so you get, absolutely get on that. I mean, write to the chief executive of the council and say, look, we'll start with Bristol. Like, we're a Bristol business. Yeah, we're really proud to be a Bristol business. Any tips and tricks on how you can get us to tender for doing a good job for the local authority, because we're a nice local Bristol business.
20 years employing local people.
They will have to respond to your letter.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
They can't just ignore it. They have to respond to it, and they will have to give you an answer.
Wicked. Okay.
It doesn't mean you're going to get the work. Absolutely not. There's no sure thing here. But it does mean that you'll get a name.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
I'll just say as well,
just before we go in, just give you a local council could have a budget of £1 billion plus. Just one little local council.
I remember you saying that.
They are absolutely huge organisations.
Which should be like the top 0.1% of businesses, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Also, just on like a marketing standpoint here, Paul, I think on your website, you probably need a bigger, in my opinion, it would be a bigger...
Yeah, so just before I came on this call today, our new website, I've just given the okay for the new website to
Paul don't want to get in trouble, does he?
He doesn't.
No. I'm on the ball. So next Wednesday... By the time this podcast goes out, the new website will be already live. So if anybody listening on there wants to check it out, check it out.
Oh, there you go. Staff Fire Training, good URL name, .co.uk. Yeah, because I was about to say the thing that you've got at the moment, I think you've got the website landing page the wrong way around. You need more of a headline.
Currently, it's the old website as well. So the new one, as I say, I literally came off a call about an hour before this podcast, and it's going live. I'm excited.
A date in my diary. Check back in a week.
Yeah, do it.
See Paul's fancy new website.
There we go.
Choosing the right people. So let's get on to challenge 3 and choosing the right people to surround yourself with. Mentor, solicitors. I mean, that's quite a
broad.
It's quite two very different spectrums of people. So
the thinking behind this is that I'm a qualified run coach and tri coach and stuff as well. And when we're doing coaching sessions with people, we always push people to train with somebody better and more experienced than them.
Absolutely.
And I find in life that works in all aspects of life. If you can surround yourself with the right people, then you can learn off their 10,000 hours. But I've approached local people that I know in business.
So you're trying to take over and be the host of this podcast, and me and JB have We're sacked.
It makes sense.
Well, I've tried to speak to local people that I know are in businesses, and everybody's a bit wary of sitting down and having a coffee because I don't know if they're scared of giving me wrong information, or if I do something and then they think I'm going to come back and blame them if it doesn't go right. And I've also looked at joining mentor groups. There's a few organizations out there that you can join a small group of business owners, and there's somebody that mentors that group. But I'm always a bit wary of joining something like that in case it's not great.
Yeah, obviously. It's funny that you put a solicitor there. I mean, how often do you need a solicitor at your?
Well, because I was looking at buying businesses. I've never approached. I have in the last 6-7 weeks or so started phoning around local solicitors that deal with business purchases to speak to them. But once again, it's knowing what questions to ask and what answers I should be getting back from them, and if they're any good or not. And if someone's already done that and bought and sold businesses, that I can pick their brains to how to choose a good solicitor. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, look, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And I live by that phrase, and I absolutely agree. Try and find business owners that are more successful than you. What I would do if this was my business, I would find a fire training business in Birmingham or Newcastle that's so far away from you that you don't compete, but you share information and ideas. I've said this on the pod many, many times. That's been one of the big secrets of my...
You do this, don't you?
Absolutely. I really think that is a good use of someone's time, because if they're in the fire training business and you're not, there's no risk of stealing each other's customers.
So sorry to jump in. I have done, since I took over the business 18 months ago, I've done that with local businesses that do something very similar to us with extinguishers. And our previous owner didn't really have a relationship with any of our competitors locally. And I decided, instead of being competitors, maybe we should be mates in the sector.
Yeah.
And we have a little breakfast club that we go out and have breakfast and just throw ideas around and talk about silly things like British standards and stuff. But when it comes to the fire training side of stuff, we are one of the bigger ones in the country, and I kind of want to compete against those because we travel nationally. So I could be in Scotland next week, or I could be in North Wales the week after. So what I really want to do is, as I say, just find somebody who's sold businesses, been in the game a long time, grey with where they've gone through the stress and come out the other side, and can just literally point me in the right direction that I'm doing things right, and give me little hints and tips as well.
Well, you can just watch my podcasts and.
But I've been doing that. That's where most of my information comes from.
Well, that's where I would just keep on watching it. And guess how much that's going to cost you? Naffle.
Nothing.
It's completely free. In terms of, but finding other business owners sometimes that are a bit further ahead of you, that they are out there. I mean, one of my great friends lives near you, Alex, who owns Western Supermare Pier.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
They had a fire a few years ago.
Yeah, they bought it after that fire, and then they rebuilt it. That family, but they're an amazing entrepreneurial family, and finding people like that are ahead, you can really pick up some stuff. But here's the other thing: the difference between someone running a £200 million business and a £1 million business and a £50 million business, it's not actually that different. It's just some of them are prepared to take a bit more risk and are more assertive and get things done. I was talking about this yesterday with someone about banking. I've met senior bank managers and I've met the lower level managers in banking. The lower level managers and the middle manager bankers, they're so far away removed from how I think. But then the senior bank managers, the ones that sign off the big deals and do the big things, I'm more aligned with. It's just really weird. I find senior management, like decision makers, are easier to deal with than middle managers.
Yeah, you just have to go through that sticky phase to
get
to the
but in everything in life. In everything.
Yeah.
Like the CEO.
Like the middle managers are protecting the crown jewels.
Yeah, I mean, say I've done a lot of planning stuff in my life. Planning officers I think can be quite difficult. But you meet the senior planning officer at the local council. If you ever get to they're the most
good as gold.
Yeah, they're the most pragmatic. Yeah. I understand what you want to try and do here. We just need a common sense approach, don't we? Yeah, you're right. We do. It's just so refreshing, and that's the same with senior. Anyone's senior, and I think that's experience just makes you ask for what you want rather than thinking how can you get it. So when I spoke to someone yesterday about buying a big business. They called me up and they said, "Oh, would you like to buy this business?" And they wanted 10 million quid for it. And I could have been all polite. And the James Sinclair from 10 years ago would have been all polite. I said, "Look, I don't want to give £1 million for it. I might give a bit more, but I want to pay that over 10 years at no interest. If you can't sell it, give me a call back and maybe we can do some business." I went, "Okay, we'll keep that in mind, James." Brilliant. Everyone saved a whole bunch of time here because they know where my parameters are. But I think 5 years ago, I would have been like, or 10 years ago, I would have been like the middle management. Okay, I understand. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be £10 million. We'll come back to you whether we can do it or not. You just be polite, don't you?
Yeah.
Saving so much time if you're just more direct and say, "No, this is what I can do," and it's up to you.
What was the catalyst of that change then?
Just more experience in the game.
Yeah.
It's funny. Again, Jamie Martin always comes out. I went out for dinner with him last night, a good friend of mine in business. And he's like, we mentor each other. We're both two people in business. He was sad about someone that bought a massive, massive business. They wanted 50 million for it. And he said, "No, I've only got 10 million. And they kept ringing him and it's 20 million. He said, "Leave me alone. If it's 10 million, call me back." And they said, "It's 13 million now." He went, "I don't know why you keep calling me. The price is 10 million. Just leave me a bloody alone and don't call me." And eventually he got it for 10 million quid, whatever it was he was buying. But, saving time and being direct and saying what you can actually do saves everyone a lot of time.
So how did you meet James Martin, for example? Because that's what I think a lot of people struggle with. So they go to, unfortunately, a lot of people go to like a B&I setup.
There's a friend of mine that's another business owner, and he organises a dinner once a month with 50 other business owners. They're all quite
right,
and that takes time, and you get to meet people. But if you ask, "Oh, do you know any other good business people that I want to have a little chat with?"
And we haven't got any dietary needs. I'll be on the next list if you want.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can come. I'll tell you what. Come to one of my seminars. You'll meet.
I'm down for the business masterclass.
Yeah, well, you'll meet 200 people there over 2 days. You'll meet loads of friends, and there's always people from Bristol come along. I don't know. I get quite a pull from Bristol.
You're big in the southwest, aren't you? Big down south, that's one of your favourite jokes, isn't it? but I think it's in those environments, though, to actually proactively seek out people who you can collaborate with. And like I say, if you meet someone who's from that neck of the woods, go, "Do you know what, let's get a date in the diary now for 1 month's time." You've got no sort of strict agenda with it, but just shooting the breeze, getting out of environment and just chatting to, if you've got 2 or 3 of you can sit down and go and have lunch or whatever, to take the time to do that. It's probably more beneficial than a lot of that like tactical networky stuff, which is a little bit transactional rather than sort of real give and take. But this sort of stuff does take time. I'd also look to see if there's any like business accelerators in your local area. I know that Barclays run Eagle Labs, which have got some really good connections. I know NatWest have got a really good accelerator program, and it's not just for like young startup companies, it's for companies of all kinds. Chambers of Commerce might be a good place to have a look. Other companies that are doing good stuff, but also within those chambers of commerce, I've got a pal of mine who ends up running the local one for ours. So maybe just go to that one person and go, "Hey, I'm interested. This is my sector. I'm really interested to meet these sorts of people. Do you know anyone in that space?" Because there will be locally, there will be someone who is the hub, who knows everybody and is the connector of people. Just ask for exactly the sort of person that you're looking for, I reckon.
Once you decide that's what you want, you will meet the people.
Awesome. Right, lovely.
Right, we're going to go to your. Well, we would ordinarily go to your 5 questions you want to ask Jim, but you haven't really got any apart from.
Yeah, no. As I say, I was just as I say, I've watch all the videos, YouTube, and I've listened to all the podcasts and stuff. So I've read the books as well. So I've just been picking all the good bits that I know I can do, and I've been cracking on with it, to be honest.
Good stuff. Well, hopefully I'll see you at Business Masterclass. It'll be very good to have you there and spend a couple of days with you.
Yeah, awesome.
let's do the rating. We're going to rate you now. Do you want to stay on, Paul? Very rarely do we allow that, but because you've got such a nice accent, I think we should.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go all serious.
Okay, gang, we're now going to do the 8 traits of great entrepreneurs. This is a set of parameters that we've come up with that describes great entrepreneurs. There's 8 points because it's called the 8 traits of the greats.
Solid.
And also you can test yourself now with a brand new online software quizzy thing that the team have built.
Yeah,
I've done all the questions. You go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and also a link in the video description where you can take the 8 traits of the greats quiz.
So I got Nick your pen. Okay.
And there's a lot of questions, but it takes you 3 or 4 minutes to do it. Then it gives you a report about where you're really strong in, where you're really weak in.
It's very good. I saw the back end of it. It's very good.
It is. And people, the second we launched it, within minutes, 12 people have done it.
That's good, isn't it?
It's been going around for a while now. But let's do it now with Paul. Okay, point number 1. Starting with the end in mind.
I would say he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows what he's trying to build, why he's trying to build it.
Yep.
So he can have a point for that.
Passionate about their cause. Is he passionate about his cause?
I would say so. He's been doing it 20 years.
Are you passionate about fire safety?
Very.
Oh, blimey.
Very. He's too. Untold amounts of resilience. Have you been tested yet? Or is everything quite comfortable?
No, definitely been tested because we're trying to change the business from a small family-run business to something that, if I take myself out of it, works without me in it.
Works without you in it.
Are you trying to get bonus points here from how many?
No,
are you playing James Sinclair bingo and you've got to bet with somebody how many innuendos you can get in of his? Is he having it? Is he?
Yeah, I think we can.
Fair enough.
Number 4, they master relationships with people.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I'm going to give you
You're going to give him
half a point. for
Oh,
that.
okay. He's giving him a
Because
half.
If you was using that to your ability, you would have a network around you that would explode the growth of this business. I don't think you're bad at it, but yeah. Number 5, commercial awareness. Where do you think? Do you know your numbers? Do you produce a monthly profit and
Yeah,
loss?
so we produce a monthly P&L, and plus this new CRM system that we've got, I can literally break down every job so I know what money's coming in and going out.
All right, you can have a point for that.
There you go. Come on, he's doing well.
Okay, number 6, they innovate, so they don't evaporate. Are you an innovator?
Yes. Change the business from just fire safety training and extinguishers.
There, he's got the evidence to back it up, JB.
He has, hasn't he?
Yeah. Okay. Number 7. I'm not letting. No. Sorry. Number 7. That they're a master marketeer.
You can't have it.
No, you can't.
He can't have it at the moment.
I've
He might be
employed
able
someone
to.
to do the marketing. No, you're not good enough on the
My
marketing.
website's ready next Wednesday. Sure, that's what they all say, Paul. That's what they all say. Will it be ready Wednesday? Sure, it will.
Number 8. They stay teachable and curious. I think he is that.
He is that. I'll tell you what. He's done very well here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.5 points for Paul from stafffiretraining.co.uk. He, do you know what, Paul? I'm just having a look down our leaderboard that no one else cares about, and you are 3rd in the running. So if this was a poor man's version of Top Gear, you'd be right near the top, near the Stig or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Stig,
Appreciate
whatever.
that.
Driving
Thank
in
you.
your reasonably priced car.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for being on, Paul. Hopefully you enjoyed that.
Where can people find out
Thank you
more
for your
information?
time.
Where can
Well,
they
I
go and
think he's
find
from
out
Bristol.
from this shiny website? Tell us where this shiny website is.
Stafffiretraining.co.uk.
Stafffiretraining.co.uk.
From Wednesday. Well, I don't know when this is going to be going out. From
It'll
Wednesday
already be
to
out by now. But
22nd,
But timestamp it because I'm going to remember.
22nd of May. The new website will be up and running. Check it out.
There we go. All right, mate. We'll see you at Business Masterclass. Thank you for being on the pod.
See you,
Thank you,
Business
guys.
Masterclass. You're amazing.
Cheers, Paul. Thank you, mate. What a
Cheers.
lovely fella.
I liked his accent.
So I know you've got a real thing for accents, haven't you?
Oh, when they're interesting.
You're like a bloody
that.
dog with a bone, aren't you? You just don't let it go.
Because I don't have an accent, me.
You don't have an accent?
No.
No, of course
I
you
sound
don't.
like the Queen.
Yeah. You sound like a queen. I'm not sure you sound like the queen.
Oh dear.
Right.
Deary,
Come on,
deary.
Business Masterclass. One more hard plug. Hard sell down that
Yeah,
camera
guys,
there. Go on.
if you would like to come along to Business Masterclass, the big 2-day event in London, if you want to find out how to do property investment by companies, grow the profitability in your business, know how to get your teams more profitable. If you want to find out how to import products from abroad, I'm doing a brand new session on that into epic
Brand new
detail.
for 24.
Yeah. Well, I did it a little bit last year, but I'm going to go into it in way more detail this time around. Plus, also, we're doing our funding panel. So if you want to actually
Bash
ask
the bankers.
banks, bash the bankers. direct in the room with me facilitating that to see if they will fund your ideas and plans, then this could be a great event for you. Tickets are only a few £100. They're around £300. They're amazing value. I'd love to see you there. It will help grow your business. And if you feel it doesn't help grow your business, just tell us by the end of day one and we'll give you all your money back. That's how sure we are that this can explode the growth of your business.
But remind people, how many people have ever asked for their money back?
Zero.
Exactly.
No, senor.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to the importing bit.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to add in some other bits as well. So it just gets better and better and better.
Are you still doing the entrepreneurial step thing? Because I like that. And I like how aggressively you write on a whiteboard.
Yeah.
Think, gang, we've got to go.
Yeah, there we go.
It's like that on a whiteboard is. If you've ever seen a James Sinclair seminar, you know what I'm talking about.
There we go. And with those hand movements, we will now finish this podcast. Thanks for watching, gang. We will see you in the next one to help grow your business. I'm James Sinclair, and he's been
absolutely useless, but thanks for being here.
James Burt.
Ta-da!
Bye. Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business. If you're loving the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking here. And why not give this one a watch? I think you'll like it.